Hey, good morning, guys. It's Donald and Mary. And this morning, we're going to start off with the water and weather, and then after, um, we have some news, some trail news, and then after that, we're going to talk about shelter etiquette. And so Mary took some time and wrote some stuff out, and we're going to go ahead and tell people what's up with hanging out at shelters and how to act and be respectful. All right, kids, let's do it.
All right, thank you, Donald. Good morning, everybody. It is 67 degrees and clear here in Blairsville right at the moment. Today we are looking at possible heat indexes, well, today and tomorrow actually, between 100 and 108 degrees. So we're going to be feeling some heat. We're looking at a high today of 89 in Blairsville with a mix of clouds and sun, and then there is a chance of a stray shower or thunderstorm. And then tonight, 66 degrees, partly cloudy, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible, and winds are going to be light and variable today and tonight. Up on Blood Mountain today, we're looking at a high of 82, dropping to 77 in the afternoon, and then a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms after 2 p.m. It will be sunny, and there is a 5-mile-per-hour wind with a 20% chance of rain. Then tonight, 67 degrees, slight chance of showers and thunderstorms before 8 p.m., and then mostly clear overnight, 20% chance of rain. So again, with it being hot outside, make sure you're taking frequent breaks, you're wearing appropriate clothing, try to seek shelter in the heat of the day so that the sun's not beating down on you, especially if you're not walking under tree cover. And just, take some precautions when you get outside. Try not to overexert yourself also. So water on the trail right now is good for the most part. Make sure you're topping off at Hawk Mountain Shelter because you do have that 6.2 mile stretch where you won't see water again until you get to Justice Creek if you're hiking north. Slaughter Creek before Blood Mountain has been good. It's been, kind of a trickle, but it's been good. So let's just make sure that you're carrying enough water before then because that does dry up, especially if we don't have rain for a couple of days. So you could be left without water climbing over Blood Mountain, and you don't want that to happen. The riders that I picked up yesterday at Yellow Creek Gap in North Carolina, they were remarking on how Georgia was quite abundant with water, and then all the way up until Burningtown Gap, they said that water was decent. They said the rest of the way to Yellow Creek, of course, when you get to NOC, there's water there, but they did say water started to become a little less available from there on out. So pretty much from NOC to Yellow Creek Gap, water was a little less available. So they also said that they saw a big rattlesnake across the trail, so they had to seek a way around it. They said it rattled for quite a while, so it was pretty much disturbed and not very happy about it. But let's remember it's that time of year, and the snakes are seeking out sunshine on rocks across the trail and anywhere that they can find that warmth. And always remember, Cow Rock, 5 miles north of Neal Gap, it does have that group of boulders that is a very good place to see the copperheads. Well, you don't want to go looking for them, but they do have that nest up under there. So let's remember to stay away from the boulders on Cow Rock. You don't want to end up getting snapped by a snake. So let's be safe, and of course, let's keep our fur friends away from those rocks also. All right. Up in the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, they are continuing to have closures and warnings due to bear activity. None of the shelters are closed at the moment. That doesn't mean the bears aren't around, but they have deemed them okay to be reopened. We do have some closed campsites, 90, 23, 59, and 96. And then, of course, the warnings for Charlie's Bunyan and campsites 21, 86, 13, 15, 64, and 65. All right, so now I'm going to turn this over to Donald, and we're going to continue to talk about some other stuff we have going on out here. Donald?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. was trying to find an article that I just read on my phone, but for some reason I can't find it on here. So I want to start off. I'm going to start with a hiker that went missing on Vancouver Island, and he was going to hike up to some falls, man, that are huge, spectacular to see. And the falls are called Della Falls, and they're super huge, man. But the 33-year-old left with a detailed plan with family and packed the right gear. Now this guy, there's a ferry that takes you over across the lake or whatever, man, to get you over to where you would take the trail up to see the falls. But he decided he was going to take logging roads instead of paying the ferry fee and drive up there. He lost his muffler, transmission, and also his oil pan.
Wow.
And so it was like this little beater, like Toyota Corolla, man, from like 1980 or something. Not 80, but probably 1990.
Those roads must have been a wreck.
Yeah, they were. And so when he got up there, man, he got to the trailhead, he walked up to the falls, and when he came back down, he stayed in a campground, didn't have the correct gear. It says here he had the right gear. I don't see where it was the right gear. They actually show this makeshift. I'll get on to the next part. But so anyways, that night he lays down in a campground, man, thinking that he's all good, man, but there's a cougar there.
Uh-oh.
And so the cougar pretty much stays around all night. He's whistling, and he should have had a gun out there. I mean, that's big country, man. But he had a whistle and some bear spray. I guess he was not close enough to get to it, so he used his whistle, scared the cat away, man, started a fire, but all night the cat lurked and was, in the bushes. He could hear it, yada, yada, yada.
That's scary.
Yeah, he heard a growl, man, and so the next morning he gets up, goes to his car. On the way down, all this stuff happened from, losing the transmission, the yada, yada, yada. So anyways, he takes the tires off the vehicle, has a blowtorch in his car, and had some other pieces and made this makeshift wagon and stacked the stuff that he needed on the wagon and started to hike out. And for 2 days he hiked. During this time, the Vancouver Search and Rescue are looking for this dude, man, because he didn't come back. His family calls the Search and Rescue, so they're out there looking for this guy, right? He's making his way back to civilization with his little makeshift wagon that he made out of 2 tires from his car and like a pole and some logs and stuff. Man, it's crazy. Some branches from a tree, man. And so he had ways to boil water and stuff, so he boiled some water. He also ran into a bear, I guess, and blew his whistle and it ran off or whatever. But during this whole time, Search and Rescue were looking for him, and he ends up going down into town and knocking on the Search and Rescue door and telling them that it's him. And so, yeah, so he actually found himself, and everything turned out good, man. I guess he's leaving the vehicle and stuff up in there, which I don't agree with. He says that, he's sorry to the public, but, the vehicle is going to become part of the mountain. And honestly, that's not how that works. You should be calling your insurance company and finding a tow company like Matt's Off-Road Towing or Murphy's Diesel Towing or whatever, man, and getting up in there. They specialize in this stuff and removing that vehicle from
I'm
the
surprised they're not
forest.
making him take it out of there.
They may make him take that out. It's a 2001 Chevy Cavalier.
Okay.
And so I think they'll make him take that out because that would be a fine, I would think, man. You can't just leave your
Right.
vehicle in the woods, man. I don't care where you are. That just doesn't work, man. Especially a place like that.
Right.
You know what I mean, man? They'll probably go up in there and get that stuff out. That's what Matt's Towing's for.
Right.
But he's down in Utah, so, you know. Anyways, Matt's Towing's one of my favorite shows.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I watched him go from like 10,000 viewers to like millions, man. He's a good dude too, man. He does good things.
I like that he's family oriented with his business.
Yeah,
and
right.
His friends and everything, the way they do business together. I think they're a good crew, and I think they work well together.
It's funny you say that. I wish people would do that here, man. There is a fam here, man, but like the newer businesses, man, don't have that same mentality. It's weird, man. They're just they're out for themselves, and they'll stab you in the back. Mary and I just stay away from it. You know what I mean,
Just do
man?
their own thing.
Yeah, dude. But anyways, I've always wanted that type of family feel, man, but it just doesn't happen. So, all right. So shelters, we're going to do that bit on the shelters, man. So shelters on the Appalachian Trail. So there are 250 shelters on the AT for hikers to use on a first-come, first-served basis. They average about 8 miles apart, but can range from 5 to 15 miles. Some have food, cables, or storage boxes. If not, hang your food. There are benefits to using a shelter. 1, stay dry in wet weather. 2, good place to meet other hikers. 3, most have privies and water sources. 4, less likely to have ticks unless a dog is present. 5, less impact on the environment. Downside of shelters: 1, may become crowded. 2, mice, especially if people eat in them, and feed the mice Twinkies and stuff, man, to stop them from bothering them at night, because that's what people do. I'm not saying everyone, but I've straight up seen people do it and heard people have done it, and they've told me stories that they throw out Twinkies.
Yeah. I was just told recently that somebody was putting a little pile aside for the mice so they'd leave their stuff alone.
Yeah. It just blows my mind, man. Blows my mind. My way of getting rid of the mice, man, or stopping them from touching Mary and I is we put out little lights, man. Because as soon as the lights go off is when the activities stop, man. You can hear it. You know, they're running across everything, man. They're like.
And those lights work, and anybody else that's staying in the shelter, they're completely cool with it. It's not like it's some big headlamp, you know.
Right.
It's small, dim lights, but it's enough to keep the mice away. And anybody else that's in the shelter, they're cool because they don't want mice either.
No, man. And so that's the way to keep the mice away. Don't feed them, man. All you're doing is fueling the situation, man. All right, and so 3, exposure to viruses, noro, COVID, colds, and I've said this for years to everyone, man. When you go to the shelters and you pick up that book that's in there, man, along with the pen, man, that stuff has got noro and everything all over it, man. It's just, you gotta wash your hands after. Bring your own pen. I carry my own pen, even around town and stuff. If I have to sign something, I got my own pen. I don't want to touch what thousands of people have touched, and they've never cleaned like the banks and stuff. And
Right.
you know, you go and sign, or you know, you go in some place and you sign something, whether it's insurance or a lease or whatever it may be, man. But I don't like to touch other people's pens. So carrying a pen, man, and making sure that you wash your hands after touching anything in a shelter. All right, and so 4, hard to sleep, snoring, toss and turning, talking. Refrain from smoking or vaping. Keep shelter environment healthy. Pack out cigarette butts. 2, make room for other hikers. Keep all your gear in one spot. Don't take over the shelter. They are for all to use. Meaning, don't get to the shelter, man, and take your bag and just start spreading all your stuff out on the shelter floor, man, or pitch a tent in the shelter, man. I mean, during the busy time, don't do that stuff. If it's slow and no one's there, do whatever you think you have to do, man. I've pitched a tent in the shelter, man. I mean, but there was no one there. It was Mikey and I or something,
That's
man.
right. And if people roll in, we would take our tent down and
Right,
either stay in
exactly,
it or
man.
stay in the shelter without it.
Yep. And so, So do not hang a hammock, not to mention to support a hammock. If you have a dog, consider 5. If you have a dog, consider tenting, especially if they drool, growl, bark, is wet or muddy, or overly friendly, or possibly could have ticks. Or there's dogs out there that you probably shouldn't just be bringing into a shelter anyways. They're protection dogs. And remember that guy that had the 4 pit bulls out behind Neil Gap? No one wanted to walk. So when you walk out behind Neil Gap, man, you know, the trail goes through the building, man. You walk out back, you walk up, and you come to where the kiosk is a little bit further up. But you start to walk up the trail, and as you walk up, you take a corner. But right here is like where everyone tents, right? And so there's a little fire ring and stuff. Well, this guy had like 4 pit bulls out there, man, and he took the whole place up. So no one wanted to walk past there or anything because these dogs were they're just wild, man. And so that type of stuff, man, it may be cool to some people, but it's not cool to the majority of people. And to be selfish and do stuff like that, man, is beyond me. But definitely don't be that person, man. You know what I mean, dude? And I'm not just talking about pit bulls. I'm talking about any vicious dog. If you have 4 of them, man, there's definitely, you don't need to bring 4 dogs out here on the trail anyways, man. That's a lot of dog poop to pick up, which never gets picked up. And too many people think their little dogs are babies and they're the princess or the prince of, you know, they won't do anything, they're a big baby. And that's not the truth, man. If you get a person that's scared and they're timid around the dog, it makes the dog anxious, timid, and also on alert. And those type of people that get scared around, the people that get scared around dogs and stuff, man, any dogs, the dogs can sense that, man, and they will attack. Some will anyways. I've seen it a million times over, you know what I mean, man? I've owned 2 Rottweilers, man, German blockheads. I kept my dogs chained up all the time if they were out, not chained up, but on leashes and chain link fence out in my backyard. And they didn't just roam around, and I didn't just let them go loose, man, because I know they're weapons, man. They're not for just roaming through the neighborhood.
Well, we all need to be responsible pet owners, and I've heard through the years also the negative thought of having a dog in the shelter. Sometimes when it's raining and muddy and everything, people have told me, you know, an animal came into the shelter and it decided it was going to flop
Right on,
their
yeah.
sleeping bag, right on their gear,
Like
whatever
an
they have.
$800 bag or
And
something,
now
bro.
it's all muddy, it's all wet. It could get torn up by their nails. So, you know, if you're going to bring your fur friend, just practice good trail etiquette with dogs, and it'll be great.
Yep, exactly, man. So Foxy Roxy and Rising Sun, man, you know, they used to hammock away from the shelter, and but Roxy was a good dog.
I
man.
think she was a great example of good behavior.
Yeah, good trail dog.
He trained her properly,
Yeah.
and he expected things from her. And I remember she was great. She'd come into camp, and she'd lie there. She'd be good, and she'd only make like these little woofs if she heard something around us. She didn't act like crazy and berserk and everything.
And she had good shelter etiquette too, because she came in and laid on Rising Sun's bag.
right.
She wouldn't go anywhere else. Came right in the shelter, laid right on his bag.
She was awesome.
That was a good trail dog, man, definitely. But dogs that haven't been on trail, like I see a lot of people bring their pups out here, man, which is cool, dude. But they have no trail etiquette, and so or shelter etiquette, and you know a lot of people just let their dogs run free on the trail. Like you'll be walking down the trail, and some lone dog will run up to you and jump on you, and it's like, and then you see the owner. You know, it's like, don't worry, it's a friendly dog. And it's like, no, man, keep your dog on a leash, man. That's the rules out here. You want to bring your pup out, keep him on the leash. There's no time to keep you know, there's no spot where it should be allowed along the trail where you just let your dog free, man.
Right, it's supposed to be under control at all times.
Right, unless you're like, you know, at a camp or something, and you know you're there and the dog's trained and will stay there. That's different, man. But when you're walking down the trail with your new pump, man, or whatever, dude, and he's never been on a trail, and neither have you, and you're just letting it run free, man, and stomp through the forest and tear shit up and shit everywhere and jump on people.
The
and
water source.
lay in the water sources, man, piss in the water. I mean, that stuff there, man, that can't happen. All right, so next, if you snore, bring earplugs. 7, make phone calls away from the shelter and use earbuds for music. 8, eat outside the shelter. Spilled food can attract rodents, bears, and other creatures. Don't dump your stuff in the fire pits either, man. Don't just start throwing stuff in the fire pits and burning your stuff up in there. Pack in, pack out. Don't be the Cub Scouts or the Boy Scouts either. And I'm not putting all of them down, man, but Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts will dig a hole and dump the food in there and bury it. And not everyone practices that, but some of them do. All right, 9, don't cut down trees for firewood. Use what is down and around you and fully extinguish when done.
That's right.
10, dispose of waste liquids 100 feet from the shelter and 200 feet from the water. If the shelter has a privy, use it. If not, go 200 feet from the shelter and dig a deep hole, guys. 12, don't tag graffiti the shelter. Use the logbooks as a shelter to express yourself. For years, man, I've been seeing people, Eggs and Bacon were one of them, they tagged everything, and I don't think they knew any better. We met them, actually. Actually, we were some of the first people years ago that helped them out. There was a woman there, and there was this trail magic guy doing trail magic. Wouldn't give them a bit of food, man. Wouldn't give them a ride into town or anything. So we roll up to the Springer Mountain shelter. Guy was rude to me, too. Mm-hmm. Remember that, dude? So we roll up to Springer Mountain parking, and I see, we're dropping someone off. I get out of the vehicle, and this woman comes up, and you could clearly tell they were not hikers. She had like this black metalhead shirt on and stuff, man, which I don't give a shit, dude. But you could see that they weren't hikers. They were all in cotton and stuff, and they wanted to hike. They definitely wanted to hike. They had the ambition, and
They just weren't properly prepared.
that's right, man. They just didn't know. And so anyways, I talked to the lady, and she's talking about going to a store to get some food because they're out of food, man. And so we ended up dropping the person and then bringing her down to the closest, like, I think she wanted to go to Dollar General, right?
That's where we went.
So we went to Dollar General, we got her stuff, man, brought her back up there, and I got out of the vehicle and started to talk to the guy there, man, and realized how much of an ass pump he was, man. I thought he was a complete jerk. And so I was like, he had a bunch of food like on his tailgate, and then he started to question me. Like, he's like, "Oh, I don't really know you and stuff, man." And it's like, "You don't know me, huh? Okay, I don't really care if you know me, but you know, I'm thinking in my head, why are you not giving these people any food, man? Why are you not helping them out? Why is no one giving them a ride down to the store? Or what is going on here?" is in my head. Well, then that USFS chick came up. Yeah, and she was actually a ridge runner for years, and when she rolled up, she recognized who we were and stuff, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I've been wanting to meet you for years," and stuff. And this asshole, whatever he thought he was, this trail magic guy, man, it looked dumb, didn't he, dude?
He sure did.
Because the chick was actually crying, man, you know what I mean? Because she had heard so many good things about us, and she wanted to meet us. And then, you know, here we are helping out someone, man, and it's like, this dude here, man, I don't have respect for people like that, man. I guess he goes down there every single year and stands there, and I don't give a shit.
You help everybody or you help nobody.
Yeah.
You don't
I don't know what this shit is about, man. That really pissed me off. And supposedly, I think he's like GATC or something.
He is somebody that sits down there every year during the through hike season. I've encountered him and other folks that are supposedly, I think it's with the GATC.
Yeah.
I don't want to quote that for sure, but they sit there to try to direct the hikers on their way as they arrive in the parking lot. So that's my experience on that, you know, telling them to walk up and walk back and keep going forward and whatever else he tells them. You know,
Yeah.
so.
And to me, man, I don't understand that stuff, dude. I help anyone. I'll give $20 to the homeless dude on the side. I don't care. I'll walk right up in the middle of the war zone in Atlanta and hand someone money, man. I don't care, man.
People are
That's
people.
that's what you have to do to help people, man. Especially people that are on trail, man, and out in the woods and have no way to get food. And they had a little girl with them too. She was like a 10-year-old little girl, man. And these people were kind, man. They were super nice people.
Sure
And you know, they didn't know any better. And so that dude really made me mad. You can see the anger coming out of me right now,
There's
man,
no
because
need for that.
yeah, and then they say they're like GATC, and that's where I start getting like, I appreciate what the GATC does, but not every member is good. Because there's another guy that's really rude to me too. That dude, I forget his name, Robert Sutherland. Guy's the rudest dude on the planet to me. Every time I talk, dude, he's rude, man. That's why he's one of the reasons I don't go into those AT rooms anymore. Because he's rude, man. I don't.
There's just no need for it.
He's been rude to me for years, and he stands out there in his little GATC uniform thinking he's like something special, but he's rude, man. And it's like, dude, I don't know what your problem is, man, but I've been out here for years helping people, and to look down the ridge of your nose at me, man, like I'm some sort of like I shouldn't be here, man. Bro, come on, man, get out of here.
And that attitude is exactly the opposite of what this trail is about.
It is,
you know?
right,
So, like you're saying, I don't get it either. So.
I don't get it, man, and that's why we stand back now, because we've seen all this, what I call the dark side of the trail. This is what we see out here, and it is what it is.
Right.
But that's why I talk the way I do too, man, because I've experienced it over the years and seen the dark side. And you know, you see people's dark side when they're out here, man, and you're out here every day working it and doing things, and you know, you just see it and run into it and actually experience it, and that's what gives you the bad taste in your mouth, man. Like, I don't have respect for these people because of this right here, because of their actions, because of the way that they treat other people, man. I'm not down with that. I treat everyone the same. I don't give a shit who you are, man. It was like that business over there that didn't even know who Smokin' Joe was, remember? So I get out, so this business kept putting this guy down, kept saying stuff about him. Didn't know who he was, but continued to badmouth him. So me and a few other people were feeding him and stuff and hooking him up with tents and whatever, dude, and trying to help him out. He was, you know, he was a homeless dude. Who cares? That doesn't mean you spit on him and kick him to the curb, man. But the guy, they kept saying stuff about him and saying, well, I was in Mountain Crossings and that business came in and we were talking and stuff, and, you know, came over and thanked me for what I had done and helping out with with that stuff, man. And so, the hurricane stuff, man. And so, you know, we were talking back and forth. And so I had been left up there by one of the drivers, man. I think it was you.
It was me, yeah.
Yeah, and so I needed a ride back down to town. I was just gonna hang out up there, but he wanted to talk for a minute. So we walked outside. Well, Smokin' Joe came up to us and talked to us both with another person that was up there. And was like, whatever, yeah. And so we get down in the car, and I started to talk to dude. I said, hey man, do you know who that was, dude? And they were like, he was like, no, man. And I was like, that was Smokin' Joe, man. And so this whole time, they're putting this dude down, and they didn't even know that that was the dude that they were putting down.
That's right.
That's the shit I'm so sick of out here, man. I'm just tired of that stuff, man. And so that's not what this trail is about. This trail is about giving and love and helping people out, man, and helping each other. And, you know, it's the other stuff too, but that's part of it, man. It's not snub your nose at who you want to because they don't have the right gear on, or, you know what I mean, man? Or they're not the same look as you. I don't know, man. I just don't.
I want to say this about Smokin' Joe specifically. Over the years, we've encountered a lot of folks like that, but I spent a lot of time with Joe. I shuttled him numerous times. He had been here for several months, and he was very well educated.
He was.
Very well spoken. He had taken time to go around these towns here to learn about the towns and, the festivals and their history and all of that. And I had thought he was around here a lot longer. But the one thing that really, really got to me, because so very few people do it, when somebody thanks me, I believe they're sincere. But when somebody takes my hand in theirs and just holds it and thanks me, I think that there's a whole different level of gratitude there, because every time Joe thanked me, he held my hand in his and he looked me in the eye and he thanked me. And to me, that says so much. So we need to stop judging people and shunning people. We need to remember they're human beings.
Sure.
And his gratitude was quite apparent, and he was not creepy at all.
No, man, he was a super nice guy, man. We used to bring him up steaks and stuff, dude, make sure that he had food, dude. But he bought his own stuff, too. He paid for all the rides. He never asked for anything from us, man. He never, and I've had a lot of people ask for just money and stuff from us or free rides or whatever. This dude never complained about our prices, and he never asked for anything and paid for everything.
Right, he did.
He most definitely did, and he gave to other people too, man.
And he bought us things too.
He did, man.
He remembered a conversation I had with him about spices for a certain type
Yes,
of food
and
I
he
like, and he
got
bought
the
me some
spices.
spices. He tried to buy me food too. So
Yeah, yeah. He tried to take us out to steaks all the time. It was like, dude, we just don't have time, Joe, man. I'd rather have you save your money, man.
that's right. So
But he was definitely a nice guy, and that goes back to just everything about trail etiquette and stuff, man. But anyways, let's move on.
right.
All right, so let's move on. Don't burn trash or food. Don't leave extra food in shelters, boxes, or hanging. So take all your stuff, man. Don't hang your trash and leave it there, or
Don't leave food behind. For
don't leave it in the
others.
don't leave it in the shelters for other people to pick up, because it may not even get picked up. The bear is probably going to get it first, mice or whatever. They're going to tear into those packages,
Yes, they
man,
will.
because they have food smell on them. All right, and so carry out all your trash, follow all, leave no trace. 15, sweep out shelter when you arrive and leave. It keeps it clean. Even with the smallest crumbs, attracts animals. Be considerate of other hikers. Have common courtesy in a very small and shared space. Always carry a tent or a hammock. Shelters can fill fast, and if you don't want to be left without a shelter, especially in bad weather. So I've heard of people at the shelters, telling others they can't be in that shelter. It's theirs, or
I've heard that one the most. Like, it's for through hikers only. No, you can't come in just because. Yet those are some
I
of the
love to see someone do that to me. I would love to have someone tell me I can't come into a shelter. Seriously, man, definitely. There's no one that can tell anyone
That's right.
not to come into a shelter, man. I would go in there and set my tent up just to be an asshole and spread my food out, man. That's not the way the shelters were made. It's first come, first serve. And if there's an emergency, like a storm, a lightning storm and stuff, man, definitely move on over, pick your stuff up, and let the people in. That's what those shelters were created for anyways, man.
Now, I do have to say on a positive note to that one, there's been many times where I've picked up riders that have told me, whether they're through hiking, day hiking, section, when there's a storm, they all make room to make
Yeah, you
sure
have
they can
to.
get as many people in as possible,
Sure.
no hogging.
That's how we've always done it,
right,
man.
that's right.
I mean, we had like fucking 15 people in a 6-man shelter one time. So, you know what I mean, man? That's just how it goes, and that's how I feel it should go. Well, that's how it should go.
Right.
But, definitely, speaking of storms, man, definitely lightning storms. Get to a low spot, get to a shelter.
Yes.
Don't walk through that stuff, man, because I saw someone online that literally said, I don't know if they were talking to me or telling someone, they were like, what do I do if a storm comes up? And they were like, oh, well, just keep walking, you'll be safe under the trees. Oh, okay.
Well, safe under the trees, last year I was picking a rider up at Woody Gap, and he had encountered some hikers that were coming back down. They were hiking from Woody up to Preacher Rock. That's full of trees, and
The light.
they one of the guys had been struck by lightning, and the other guy had been thrown off his feet. So, they were up in the trees. If you've ever hiked up in there, there's a lot of tree cover before you get up to Preacher Rock. So hiking in the trees is not ideal for a lightning storm. They were both okay. EMS came and everything, but could have been worse than that.
Yeah, definitely, dude. All right, so that's what we have for shelter etiquette, man. Be kind to people out here, please, man. Just be kind.
That's right.
There's no reason to treat anybody better than the other. There's no categories, man. All a aspiring through hiker is a person that stayed out here longer. It's just consecutive section days. I mean, consecutive day hikes, man. One after another. That's all that is, man.
That's right.
It's someone that just has more time to hike further, man. That's all. It doesn't make them any better or stop putting people on pedestals out here, man. We're all the same. Everyone's doing the same thing out here, man. They're all trying to get to their goal.
That's right.
And to categorize people or to put someone down or snub your nose at someone, man, because they don't have the same dream as you, that's wrong. That's not what this place is about. And I feel like
It's discouraging to people.
I think it's sort of just becoming worse and worse every year with that stuff, man.
It is.
It's disappointing and sad. But anyways, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
No, I'm good, thank you.
All right, sweet guys. Let's have a great day, man. It's beautiful out. Be safe. If anyone needs anything, give us a jingle. One love, peace.